Guys, what's the tea? You want to know what the tea is? Haunted. Haunted? Memories? Flashbacks? Trauma? Side effects? Ooh. Yeah. This card is giving the body remembers what the mind tried to bury. Whew. For real. That's the tea. Now, the tea here is not necessarily ghost in the spooky movie sense. This feels way more psychological, emotional, ancestral, and energetic. The word haunted with memories, with flashbacks, trauma, side effects. That's as somebody is being followed by unresolved pain. And the pumpkin imagery, that's important too. I even put some orange lipstick on for this. Pumpkins are carved open. Yeah, hollowed out, lit from the inside. Translation: something hidden inside is glowing through the cracks, whether someone admits it or not. Yeah. This card usually shows up when someone keeps replaying old situations in their head. Trauma responses are affecting current relationships. Or maybe they're reacting to the present from wounds from the past. Guilt, shame, regret, fear, or heartbreak keeps resurfacing. They try to laugh, distract, party, stay busy, but inside, internally, something still echoes. And the side effects? That line is what really catches my eye. Because trauma, it rarely walks in screaming. It looks like emotional numbness. It's overreacting to the small things. And that's where a lot of road rage comes from. I'm not kidding you. When you feel real irritated and everything's just like, oh, yeah. Pushing people away before they leave. Hyper independence. Addictions. Yeah, that's a big distraction. Any type of distraction, really. Anxiety in precious moments. Like we should be enjoying them, and instead we're just anxious. Avoiding silence. Needing chaos because calm feels unsafe. And this card, it screams. Just because someone moved on physically, it doesn't mean their nervous system moved on emotionally. Psychologically, this is shadow work energy. God. The unconscious mind dragging old ghosts from the basement saying, hey, we ain't done here. Biatch, we ain't done here. And this is where the deeper layer comes in. And I wanted to know, what is this? So I grabbed a card. I asked for clarification. And guess what I got? Yeah, the Hermit. The Hermit. Paired with the Hermit. Seriously? This is not loneliness. It's not punishment. It's not, nobody loves me. The hermit is the soul retreating inward because the noise outside is just too loud. And we don't want to hear that truth inside sometimes. Some people think that isolation is depression every single time. Sometimes it is. But sometimes isolation is the spirit trying to detox from confusion. Sometimes the soul disappears for a minute because it's trying to locate itself again after years of shape shifting for everybody freaking else. The hermit energy with this card here, it feels like someone is finally sitting alone long enough to hear the echoes that they keep outrunning. And that is terrifying for many people because distractions, those are easy. Noise, it's easy. That's why I like to play the radio really loud a lot. I spent a lot of my years listening to the radio when I would go to sleep. Middle school, high school, I always had the radio on. I finally learned to quiet down, to connect to me for the first time because it was terrifying. And distractions, they are easy. Noise was very easy. Constant validation, that's easy too. And silence is when truth starts talking. That's why I like silence at my age now. Maybe a lot of older people do. Because we are ready for the truth. We need to hear it. Let's talk psychology, of course, for a second, because this runs pretty deep. A lot of people don't actually miss the person, all right? They miss the identity that they built around surviving the situation. Trauma bonds. Trauma bonds can literally wire the nervous system to confuse anxiety with love and unpredictability with passion and chaos with connection. I'm being honest. I promise you, this is true. And you don't even know it. You think that it's love because you don't want to feel that anxiety. And that unpredictability, the passion's so strong, right? No, it's just you don't want to know the truth. We're not ready to face the truth sometimes. The brain gets chemically addicted to the cycle. Fear. I need relief. Fear. I need relief. That's why peaceful love, it can sometimes feel so boring to people who grew up emotionally unsafe. You go on a date with somebody and they just seem boring to you because maybe they're safe. But boy, you go on that date with somebody who just makes you feel unsafe, and all of a sudden you're interested, right? Yeah, it's true. Some people are not haunted by spirits. They're haunted by patterns, by conditioning, by old versions of themselves that learned survival before they learned peace. So it's familiar. Got to survive this. And the hermit energy, stop running from your own reflection. The answers, they're not in another relationship. They're not in another drink. They're not in another distraction either. Or another situationship. Another late night text. Another fake person online pretending that everything is fine. I'm going to tell you this. Now, the answer, you're going to find it, but you have to sit with yourself long enough. And you really do. Oh, there's a mosquito. You have to sit with yourself long enough and ask, why does this hurt me the way that it does? And not drink, not distract, but, oh, there's that. It's a fly. Oh, I need to kill it. I need to get some bleach. Why does this hurt me the way that it does? Also, why do I keep repeating this? Why? Why does chaos feel familiar? Who was I before survival mode became my personality? Babe, is there a spray right there? It's so funny because people, they think they're haunted by a person a lot. I have a lot of people that reach out to me and they feel like there's a lot going on around them. And sometimes maybe they are being haunted by a person, a spirit or whatever. But the truth is that sometimes what we really are haunted by is maybe how we feel about a certain person. Yeah, it's our own feelings. It's not that person. It's connected to a feeling. Or maybe who we became with that person, or when we were with that person or around that person, who we become. Or even like maybe we are even just keep them around because we are wondering what we tolerate. Why do we tolerate certain stuff for some people that we would never tolerate? It doesn't mean they're special. It doesn't mean that. It means that there's something that we need to figure out within ourselves of why we are tolerating this. And also, like, what do we lose? What are we losing in ourself? What is it? We're losing something. Is it peace? Is it... You have to figure it out. That's the real haunting. It is. And the fire, that imagery in here, I mean, come on. Fire destroys, but it also purifies. It does. I use it a lot with sage. I use it a lot when I make my intentions, and yeah, fire purifies. So this doesn't feel hopeless. It feels like somebody's at the stage where avoidance is just no longer working. The haunting gets louder when your healing is way overdue. Yeah. And this hermit energy that walked in is here to remind us that hermit is something ancient. It's something ancient. Ancient. Sometimes my little accent. Sorry about that. Healing it's not always loud. It isn't. The hermit is that introspective. Look at him with his little lantern, you know? Sometimes healing looks like, I'm going to stay home. I'm going to be home. I'm going to turn the phone off. Like, seriously. And you know, one of my favorites? Seriously. Crying in the shower. I would cry and cry and cry. Taking my baths. Seriously. Crying in the shower. In the bath. Journaling. I love to journal. I love to write. I do it every day. That's what this is all about. But journaling the truth of what I'm feeling, of what I'm knowing, of what I'm figuring out, of what's going on in the sky, of what today's about, what's happening, where are the planets, journaling, writing it all down. All the stuff, the truth that nobody sees. And somebody's telling me, so I can tell you, so you can hear. Because you need to. You need to hear. And realizing that your anger, sometimes it's just grief. Wearing those freaking combat boots, those Doc Martens I always used to wear in high school. Yeah. That's what grief is. It's those combat boots. Finally, understanding your triggers. Sorry guys, my phone froze and it wouldn't start back up, but I was talking about triggers, right? They are wounded protectors. I'm not kidding you. They are. They're not enemies. When something triggers you, there's a wound there. Something happened before. Something's trying to protect you. That's why it seems familiar. Because you've been there before. So you understand it. So you're like, okay, I know this. I can deal with this. It doesn't mean you should be in it or keep it around. You know what I mean? Eventually, the soul gets really tired of performing strength while it is secretly bleeding internally. Why do that? Why? And you know what? That seriously is the tea tonight. Some people are laughing in public while quietly unraveling. And some people are moving on while spiritually they're just frozen in old timelines. And some people are so exhausted, not because life is hard right now, but because they're carrying unresolved emotional weight for years. The hermit? Oh, the hermit doesn't run from darkness. He's going out there with his lantern. He ain't running from darkness at all. The hermit walks into it, holding that light, saying, I need to see where I'm going. I'm going to bring my own, but I'm going. I'm not staying lost. I refuse. I'm going to find my way. I need to finally see clearly. What a beautiful card. What a beautiful card the Hermit is. You be it. Be the Hermit. Find your way. Find your truth. Find what you deserve. Stop hanging on to what's familiar. Stop hanging on to the trauma. Stop hanging on to the wounds. Find your way. That's the tea. That's today's tea.